Title of the video is self-explanatory. The first bus on this list, which is essentially the modern day version of this. I actually have some pictures of this. I mean, I only have 5 of them, but it's better than nothing. Let's just put it this way. One is a CNG, the other one is a hybrid, and they are not easy to maintain. But the thing is, for B5LH, it doesn't ride nice, but at least it drives nice, according to my bus captain friends. The one redeeming factor about the CNGs is that B10BLEs is that this one, the aircon is actually good. This one, 90% of the time, it sucks. They are not terrible buses by any means, but they're not spectacular. They're not good. Especially in terms of maintenance, but I still like them. I've talked about this before. As much as it pains me to say this, my favorite bus, the one with my favorite gearbox of all time, W3E, is objectively crap. Why? It overheats a lot. And these things, I was told by my friend that the true horsepower of this thing is actually 215, which is 15 lower than KUB's, and not whatever the wikis actually state. This one is the correct one. These buses, if I'm not mistaken, they weren't like down-tuned or eco-tuned. They just sucked in the sense that they just struggled at like this speed, basically. Like in other words, if in other words, they are known to be kind of sluggish. No matter how nice the engine sound is, the transmission sound, gearbox sound, you can say this thing is slow as shit. This is the kind of bus that I would take to sightsee, or if I'm on board like the last bus. Not a bus that I would really want when I'm rushing for time. I've mentioned this before, but it is not uncommon to see the bus drivers, they open the back of the bus, the engine cover, just so these buses could cool off when they were like layover at the interchange. So these things, just like the B5LH today, they were a pain in the ass to maintain. So a recap, overheating, underpowered as shit, as well as being sluggish. And if you are not a bus fan, uh, the public might complain that this bus is loud, it growls too much, but that is just Mercedes-Benz, it cannot be helped. But yeah, this is why my favorite bus is objectively shit. So this one is a Mark 1, and then this one is a Mark 2. How do you tell? Just look at the year of manufacture. And this one is technically, like objectively speaking, slightly better because this has 215. This one I was told has 250. And as long as both of them are not speed locked to 60, obviously this one would win. But even that being said, the acceleration of these buses, they were actually decent. It's just they are not so good when it comes to like maintaining top speed. But it's not like this bus is good by any means. In fact, I think this one is like overrated because people only ride this bus because of its melodious ZF howls and people foam to kickdowns. not just the kids nowadays, but even back then, all the rogue enthusiasts, they only want kickdowns. Mercedes buses in general, 1980s, 1990s, as well as the early 2000s. Like for example, the Citaro started from 1997, and then nowadays we still have Citaros, but the Citaros, the early batches, they were all prone to overheating and actually catching on fire. So yeah, be it SBS or Trans Island Bus Services, which is now SMRT, this bus model is objectively crap. And yes, I am aware that this thing is Sonic the Hedgehog. I have taken it many times when I was a kid. I've taken this on a lot more often though, to be honest. And it's not like I intentionally skipped buses or anything. I never gotten like the VoIPs or the ZFs. I still have like a clean W3E streak on board this bus. And I honestly think I might be the only one with a clean W3E streak. But again, just because this bus can reach like 80 to 90 kilometers per hour doesn't really negate the fact that it's a crap bus model. Why is it crap? Mercedes-Benz, the cooling system was bad back then. And in fact, there are more modern day buses that can outperform this thing. Okay, so the Leylands were a lot better, and this bus model by no means is crap. It's just underpowered. Technically, these are better than these when it comes to like just overall in general. Now, you might be asking, like my younger audience, like, why is this bus on this list? Well, same as these two, it's a Mercedes Benz. Overheat, catch fire. They were prone to that. And then, for the 0405Gs, I'm not exactly entirely sure for like the Vograns, but the Hispano ones, based on experience, some units, the front section of the bus and the trailer section of the bus, there is like a huge discrepancy. There's like a big difference between the aircon at the front and at the back. At the front, it's okay. At the trailer, for some reason, it's a sauna for some units. And then you might be wondering about this particular unit. Well, ever since this thing got retrofitted with Convicta, sometimes the aircon is actually good and it's actually really cold. The only thing is that the last row of seats, well, obviously that's where the engine is. It's going to be a sauna, but in terms of aircon, this one was actually not bad. Look, as much as I have an entire collection of this bus when I was in school, just to show you guys, I would be lying if I said this bus is actually good. We enjoyed the rides. That's one thing. But this bus being good or not good, objectively speaking, is a whole nother issue. That is something that I feel like y'all have to be a bit more honest sometimes. Do we enjoy the rides? Yes. Is it nostalgic? Yes. Is it a good bus? No. But still better than some of the buses that are around nowadays. Because as for the aforementioned issues, you don't really experience it with the MAN NG363F A24 Bendies. It's something that is like exclusive to haha Mercedes-Benz. This is not a KUB, in case you guys are wondering. I'm not even gonna tell you what this bus is. Go and research it. I'll zoom in so that you guys can see the Regal. There are two units, and both of them are demonstrators. And as buses, they are not good. I forgot the reason why they're not good. Okay, anyway, the transmission of this bus is what you call EATON, Eaton automatic transmission. It is not ZF or anything. It's just Eaton. Soonlee Bus Park, 143. I forgot what year this was. I think it was like, is it 15 or 16? I think it's 16. But yeah, this one, I like the look of, as in like the aesthetics, the interior and exterior of this tissue box, but this bus was also quite problematic. I like the exterior of the bus, like how it looks aesthetically. However, I don't like riding it at all. Not just because the aircon sucked ever since it was converted to CAC. Not just that. This was that era's KUB in terms of vibrations. I took this bus on 859. I was seated like around here. Every single time the bus was idling, it vibrated and vibrated and vibrated and vibrated. And it was a lot worse as compared to like the KUB's vibrations. The vibrations were like more severe in that sense. I don't know why. I don't know if this is a thing with all units, but the one I took was crap. But something that was common for like this bus model in general was that the aircon sucked. That's all. But anyways, I don't know if 859 ever had perms, the elbow perms, but if it was a Cameo, then I'm like, okay, it's good that I at least had the experience of riding them. But man, they were crap. Yes, I still have that photo of 167 that I took. This one is less controversial. Some people find it good, some people find them crap. It's quite polarizing. For me, I am okay with this one as compared to the elbows. But let's be honest, the last 4 units, they were crap. But anything before that, they were actually quite decent. I think in the like the bus ranking or something, I actually put like A or B tier or something along those lines. But again, this one is like quite polarizing, I would say. Like people generally have like really mixed reviews or like reactions to this bus model in general. This one was really unique, one of a kind, like Sunchao bodywork. I mean that's the reason why you see the front kind of looks like what you would see in like a coach bodywork, because Sunchao is like just way more into coaches as compared to like city buses in general. But anyway, I forgot like how problematic this bus was, but yeah, I have had people say that this bus is objectively crap as well. But it was something special, so I liked them. Cheaply built bodywork, vibrations. The PA Lancers only had 211 horsepower. It was like really flimsy, and then what you call that? The spacing in between the seats, yeah, like leg room. It was terrible, and I am a tiny person. I'm not that tiny, but it's like I'm quite skinny. Like even I found this bus like a little bit cramped. Be it UMW or UK, and even the UKs, I know there's like a huge discrepancy. They weren't actually like truly UKs or anything. They were all like built in Malaysia. In particular, at that time, the UMWs were crap. But I loved TIB 932T because of the bus stopping sound. It was 3 beeps instead of the traditional 4. I mean, this bus is just special. I mean, look at this. Okay, this one is 1017, 1018, the Vograns, but this one, oh, oops, okay, it's not gonna zoom in. Where can I find a good one? Okay, these I have never actually been on board. I have seen it in real life, but I have never been on board like 1017, 1018. These are actually quite nice, but okay, I need to show you guys the Dennis Lance one. Dude, it's just not appearing. It's just not appearing for some reason. And then the search results are becoming like really. Okay, what about this? Please, yeah. It's not gonna zoom in. I'm just gonna zoom in myself. Who doesn't love these seats? And honestly, I think the last one for this list, again, it pains me to say this. I mean, self-explanatory. It's the very last ZF Ecomat, along with the OC500 LEs.